Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Jay, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at Stealth, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So in your situation, my goodness, you've taken the TOEFL 6 times in the last 6 months. You've even reevaluated your scores once, but of no use. Reevaluated, I think you're saying, is you asked them to rescore maybe the speaking and the listening sections, right? You say, I need to get a perfect score of 24 in each section. Now, 24 is actually not a perfect score. It's a good score. It's possible you can do this, right? So I think you're saying right now you're frustrated. You lack usually about 2 to 3 points. You're saying in both the speaking and the writing, so you're usually scoring between 21 and 22 points in the speaking and writing areas of the test. I'm feeling as if I cannot clear it ever. Please help me. I want to clear it as soon as possible. You can do this. And there are many students who have been in your situation, and eventually, with a lot of effort, with a good plan, these students, and you will also be able to reach your goal. My recommendation for you is my 60-day speaking and writing study guide. That will directly deal with the speaking and the writing portions of the test, and it will give you a lot of practice with both the speaking and writing tasks. So that's what I'm going to recommend for you right now. Now, another thing that I want you to do, you're probably already doing this, but keep doing it, is each day remember that with both speaking and writing, you're having some language use issues. That means you're having some vocabulary problems. You're having some problems with grammar, right? So you want to make sure that you can solve those problems. So one thing that you can do that will be helpful is to sit down each day and just read. You can read magazines, newspapers, and longer books. This is going to give you some really good exposure to the language. Now, as you're reading, I also recommend get in the habit of taking notes. Take notes on the main and the most important supporting points, and then using your notes, you can do 2 things. Number 1, you can orally summarize the information. Number 2, you can write a summary of the information. Either way, you're practicing the integrated speaking and writing tasks. Now, likewise, spend about the same amount of time each day with listening. Listen to academic type things. You might listen to news programs, science programs, history programs, maybe documentary programs. And that's also going to give you a lot of good exposure to the language. And remember that both the speaking and the writing, they both have listening and they have reading passages that you have to read and understand, and you have to speak about them or write about them. So if you do those 2 things each day, maybe 1 hour reading, 1 hour listening practice, do that every day. Doesn't matter if you think it's helping you or not, trust me, do it. And it can make a big difference overall in your language skills. Now, in addition to that, you want to spend maybe approximately 2 hours a day at my online TOEFL course, and you'll be going through the speaking and the writing sections of my course. And little by little, you'll begin to build your academic English language proficiency. Remember that if you're scoring around 22 on the speaking, you have some pronunciation problems that you have to solve. You're having some problems with your word choice, with your grammar, some problems with organization and development, and you will be able to solve these problems in time by going through the lessons in my online TOEFL course. All right, Jay? Anyway, thank you very much for your comments. I understand that you're frustrated. I know you've taken the TOEFL 6 times in the last 6 months. You haven't reached your goal yet, but you got to believe that many students exactly in your situation, they have succeeded. But I think this is what builds character. It's the person who refuses to give up. When things get hard and you feel like you can't reach your goal, that, my friend, is when you have to fight the most. So my question for you is, are you ready to fight? You got maybe 2 more months in you? Remember, during these 2 months, don't concentrate as much on don't take a whole bunch of IBT practice tests during this time. Focus on building your academic English language proficiency. If you need to take a practice test, instead of paying $200 and taking the real test, you can take one of my full-length IBT practice tests at my website. That's going to save you a lot of money, and it'll give you an accurate score, I promise. All right, anyway, thank you very much for your comments. Hang in there. The light is at the end of the tunnel. You're almost done with your TOEFL journey. You don't have much longer. But anyway, thank you for your comments, and all the best to your high-scoring speaking and writing success.